দর্শক আমন্ত্রণ আন্তর্জাতিক সম্পর্ক উন্নয়ন বিষয়ক আরটিভির বিশেষ অনুষ্ঠান ডিপ্লোম্যাটিক জোনে। আপনাদের সঙ্গে আছি আমি সৈয়দ আশিক রহমান। আমাদের আজকের অতিথি বাংলাদেশে নিযুক্ত ব্রিটিশ হাই কমিশনের বিদায়ী রাষ্ট্রদূত His Excellency Robert Gibson. Very welcome, Your Excellency, at RTV studio.
Thank you very much. It's a great pleasure to be here
Firstly, I'd
again.
like to congratulate you for your successful tenure in Bangladesh.
Thank you very much indeed.
Well, Excellency, you are leaving Dhaka after a 4-year tenure as British High Commissioner in Bangladesh. Would you please share your experience so far?
Well, it's been not only a great privilege to serve here for 4 years as the British High Commissioner, but it's been a great pleasure as well. This is probably the end of my diplomatic career, and it's to end it on such a high note. To be UK's representative in this wonderful country has certainly been the highlight of my career.
So what is your next plan?
Well, I'm going to leave the diplomatic service, leave the Foreign Office, and look for another career, doing something else. What I hope that career will involve is my 15 years of experience of Bangladesh, working in some capacity whereby I can continue to engage with Bangladesh and continue to help Bangladesh.
Great, because we want to see you again here.
I hope you will,
because you get a very good experience.
Thank you.
Among the journalists and TV media, you are very popular.
Good. Well, I always look at the media and the journalists as partners in what we're all trying to do to make the world a better place to live in.
Great. What differences do you get after 4 years in Bangladesh?
Well, I think the differences that I've seen in Bangladesh, and I have an engagement of nearly 15 years of Bangladesh, is the relative better conditions of life for people living outside Dhaka. When I first came to Bangladesh 14 years ago, people were living in quite abject poverty, and very few had access to proper sanitation, to clean drinking water, to healthcare, to education. But now, whenever I go around Bangladesh, I see that people have good sanitation, access to good clean water, and we've nearly got 100% enrolment of boys and girls in primary school. And our aid programs help lift about 1.5 million Bangladeshis out of abject poverty into a better state of living. And I think that's a great achievement. I'm really pleased.
And it is a big progress.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your observation. Excellency, Bangladesh and UK enjoying excellent bilateral relations. How do you anticipate these relations developing further in coming days?
Well, I hope it will continue to be as close as it has been. The UK was one of the first countries in the world to recognise Bangladesh as an independent country. It was where Sheikh Mujib flew back to Bangladesh to take up his position. And the UK was also instrumental in enabling Bangladesh to join the Commonwealth and to join the United Nations. And that's a great foundation on which to build a relationship. I hope that continues. We have 500,000 people in the United Kingdom who have a Bangladesh heritage, and we're very proud of them.
Great.
And proud of the contribution they make to UK.
In Bangladesh, your ongoing program is making market work for the poor. We know it has been improving the productivity and the competitiveness of small farmers. How does your government may introduce such program for other sectors?
Well, we're very clear with our aid program that the conditions for a developing country must be holistic conditions. There must be a golden thread that runs through a country which is based on all aspects of life, from rule of law to human rights to freedom of expression, and importantly, prosperity. We have to create the right conditions that people who wish to prosper can prosper. We do this by working with governments all around the world on access to markets, on improving productivity, on improving arbitration for when there are disputes. But also in Bangladesh, we've worked very closely with very small holders, individual people who we've taught how to run their own businesses, be it a small chicken farm, a small shop, but any small enterprise that helps them lift themselves out of poverty and gives them the opportunity to prosper, and possibly prosper so much that they in turn will start to employ people in their businesses. So this is an ongoing program we have, which we continue. And it's actually the largest such program we have anywhere in the world.
You're talking on freedom of expressions. Would you please elaborate that thing?
Well, freedom of expression is the right to speak your mind without fear. And I think it's very important that in a democratic country, free speech is an essential part of the process. Now in Bangladesh, I think you have a huge number of media outlets, probably more media outlets per head of population than any other country in the world. And the press, the media, TV, radio, the social media, internet, they're all very, very essential parts of what makes a free, fair society. And this is what we want to encourage. We do a lot of training programs with journalists to try to improve their investigatory powers. And I work a lot with young people on the social media to try to help them express themselves properly.
What is your experience, young generation especially?
Well, I think they are incredible. I think your young generation is Bangladesh's best asset of all. And you have a growing population. The young is a huge percentage of the overall population. They now have access to education, and through the internet, through social media, they learn more about the world than they would have done in the past. They now have aspiration, they have drive, they have determination, they have innovation, and I think they're brilliant people.
Great.
And we were very pleased yesterday to announce that a young Bangladeshi man has become one of the Queen's Young Leaders this year, and 2 Bangladeshi young people are going to be on the FCO leadership program next year as well.
What is your message to our next generation, our young people?
Have ambition, work hard, have drive, have determination, and respect the values that you have in society, the Commonwealth values that we all aspire to. Respect those as well.
Great. What you will say about our demographic dividend?
Well, I think it's 65% of your population are under 30, so that's a huge democratic dividend that's coming through. And it's important to ensure the country benefits from that by making sure the infrastructure is there, that the education is there, and that these young people, when they start to enter employment, enter the job market, have the space to realise the ambitions they all have. And young people today have far more ambitions than perhaps you or I had when we were younger, and that's amazing to see. And just to harness that, to ensure that enough space is given for them to realise their dreams, their ambitions, that'll be the way to do it.
Mr. High Commissioner, in terms of population size, Bangladesh is one of the largest member of Commonwealth.
It is indeed.
We are on the leadership position of both CPA and IPU.
That's right.
Do you think this ensures stability and sustain in globality?
The Commonwealth represents 1/3 of the population of the world, and Bangladesh is one of the largest members of the Commonwealth. And I was very pleased when the Honourable Speaker was elected to be the chairperson of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association. And in fact, I had a discussion with her just a few days ago about her ambitions to make the CPA a very vibrant organisation, one that will encourage parliaments, encourage democracy, encourage debate all around the Commonwealth. And we had a long discussion about what more we can do to make it a really driven organisation. So I'm very pleased that Bangladesh has taken this position there. And I'm very pleased that Bangladesh takes the Commonwealth very seriously. And the Foreign Minister attended CHOGM in Malta, and we came up with a very good statement that reaffirmed and respected the Commonwealth values.
What we should do more?
I think the Commonwealth is an organisation that is unique in the world. It covers all the continents. It has a common bond in English language speaking, and the more interactions we can have with the Commonwealth, the better. So I'd encourage Bangladesh to perhaps welcome Commonwealth scholars from around the world to its marvellous universities that are here.
Bangladesh is on the track of middle income country. Revenue earning still now is a challenge. Then how we may ensure utilization of our domestic resources
to reach middle income status, which I think Bangladesh will do, aims to do by 2021. It will depend on having the right regulations in place, and not only the right regulatory environment, but in a regulatory environment that is fully implemented, that is practiced freely, fairly and transparently. And that in itself will encourage international investment, which will help the economy. It's also important, I think, to ensure that you have the right infrastructure in place: roads, railways, airports, power, water, sanitation, and all the things that people expect to see in a country that's of middle income status. And I know the government has its 5-year plan to try to introduce this, and the UK very much hopes that it can be a partner of Bangladesh as we reach that goal of middle income country.
Well, you were talking about international investment. Is it for the sanitation, railway infrastructure?
British companies will invest, will partake where they think the project is a viable project and it's good for them and good for the country. And there are many infrastructure projects that are currently taking place, which are going for tender very shortly. And I know there are many British companies that want to participate in that tender process.
Well, Excellency, there is similarities between two countries' culture, British and Bangladesh, because there is a long colonial similarities. After staying in Bangladesh, what did you observe in your culture?
I think what's good about Bangladesh and good across the Commonwealth is, as you say, we have a very shared heritage, a shared culture, and so people understand the same reference points as I do. They've read the same books. Indeed, they've seen most of the same TV programs, the same movies, listened to the same songs, the same poets, seen the same plays, and that's great. But Bangladeshi culture itself is very, very special.
Special and rich, I believe.
Absolutely rich.
As well. Special our folk music, 1,000 years of our musical heritage. It is very rich. Well, Excellency, what about our food? Especially we know that curry is one of the favorite food of British people.
I think British curries are very different from Bangladeshi curries. I think British curries are an invention from Bangladeshi chefs to feed the UK. So I don't really eat curries very much in the UK. I prefer to eat the real thing in Bangladesh, and I've enjoyed the cuisine all over the country, indeed. As I've enjoyed the culture.
All over the countries?
Yes, all over Bangladesh.
Do you know there is some different area, they have some different style of...
different styles and also different products.
Different products
yes,
also.
Because I've enjoyed the mangoes and Rashadi.
Did you visit Sylhet?
I have indeed,
Sylhet,
yes, and that's
Sylhet?
a very different cuisine indeed, very strong.
Very strong
cuisine, yes, indeed.
In Britain, there is a small community of Bangladesh, and they have different restaurant, different curry restaurant food. In some cases, Bangladesh is in leadership on curry.
Well, I visited many Bangladeshi restaurants in the UK, which of course are all branded as Indian restaurants for historical reasons, but of course they are Bangladeshi restaurants, as we know. And there's a huge variety of them in the UK. There's some very cheap
though
ones
it is
that you
Bangladeshi
can use to
restaurant,
very high class ones, very high quality ones, especially in London. There's some real gourmet Bangladeshi restaurants that are a pleasure to eat in, and I enjoy being there.
You have a keen interest on music.
I like all the Bangladeshi music. I've spent some very happy nights recently. First of all at the Bangladesh Folk Festival. And then at the Bangladesh Classical Music Festival, and I've enjoyed sitting there and listening to these incredible performers.
Great to know.
Fantastic talent, fantastic professionalism. I don't understand the words some of them are saying, but I really understand the emotion and the talent they show in performing. It's been great.
Do you have any plan to facilitate our folk artists?
Well, I think there are plans ahead to have a Bangladesh festival in London in the near future.
Bangladesh Festival London.
And I hope that if that happens, that a lot of your musicians can come and play and show the people of the UK the depth and the breadth of musical talent that exists in this country.
Well, Excellency, we'll talk more after a short break. দর্শক দেখছেন আন্তর্জাতিক সম্পর্ক উন্নয়ন বিষয়ক RTVর বিশেষ অনুষ্ঠান ডিপ্লোম্যাটিক জোন। এই পর্যায়ে নিচ্ছি বিরতি, ফিরছি একটু পরেই। সে পর্যন্ত আমাদের সাথেই থাকুন। দর্শক, আবারও আমন্ত্রণ আন্তর্জাতিক সম্পর্ক উন্নয়ন বিষয়ক RTVর বিশেষ অনুষ্ঠান ডিপ্লোম্যাটিক জোনে। কথা বলছিলাম বাংলাদেশে নিযুক্ত ব্রিটিশ হাই কমিশনের বিদায়ী রাষ্ট্রদূত His Excellency Robert Gibson's সঙ্গে। Welcome again, Excellency, at RTV Studio. After your 4 years direct observation, what do you say on the major achievements of Bangladesh?
Well, I think you have to look at its progress against Millennium Development Goals, where it's been a shining example of how to apply yourself directly on those goals and achieve them. And I think Bangladesh has achieved the majority of the goals very well, and we're very proud of that, and this is a good example. And also, I think Bangladesh has now positioned itself as one of the best contributors to UN peacekeeping operations, and the wonderful college it has at Bibsot, which teaches all your policemen, your army officers, your army men and women how to operate in peacekeeping environments. Right. And they've now formed a very, very essential and valuable part of the UN progress around the world. And those are two quite good achievements, I think.
Now is the part of SDGs. And we are targeting another 15 years to achieve SDGs. And what do you think, or what steps should take to achieve SDGs?
Yes, everybody was delighted at the UN this year that the SDGs were agreed. It's been a long process to get the SDGs and to compile them and compose them in a way that everybody's happy with, that everybody can aspire to. And they're challenging. They're meant to be challenging. They're meant to make people think long and hard about development around the world. And they're interconnected.
Especially the child marriage issues.
That's yes, absolutely. I mean, we feel very strongly that young women and young girls should be allowed to complete their education, should be allowed to develop physically before they expect to get married. And we certainly think in most countries 18 should be the minimum age for a girl to get married. Before that, it compromises her development, her education.
You are talking about education. In case of education, do you think our government is in the right track?
I think the Prime Minister's initiative to ensure that all girls go to school up until the age of 16, 18, and also encourage girls into university is a very, very good policy indeed.
Very good policy and initiative.
Absolutely.
Well, Excellency, what are the interesting sector in trade with Bangladesh?
Well, we have a huge trade in the ready-made garment industry,
ready-made
of course.
Garments, besides ready-made garments.
I think every high street in the UK has loads and loads of garments that are made here in Bangladesh, and we're very pleased with that indeed. There's also a great potential, I think, in the leather industry, also in software development. I think we've just talked about the young people, and of course the young people here are very, very bright, and they're very interested in IT development and software development.
Your compliments.
And you know, they've got great possibilities there because they speak English, they can code, and they've got great ideas, great initiatives, and this is going to be a really good export opportunity for Bangladesh.
Great. What are the opportunities of our R&D sector, or what is the challenges of our R&D sector? What is your opinion?
Research and development is a very, very challenging area for everybody. I think even in the UK, we struggle to ensure there's enough investment in R&D to take the development of projects forward. So Bangladesh, I think, maybe it needs to put more attention on that and less on the sort of easy manufacturing path is taken. But also, the UK is a world leader in research and development, and we're very happy to share our expertise around the world.
What exchange in here for R&D?
I think what we have to recognise is that probably 50% of the jobs that people do today were not invented 20 years ago.
Well,
so that implies in 20 years' time, 50% of the jobs we do now may not exist.
well,
And that every country in the world, I think, has to look forward. And every individual has to look forward to ensure he or she is developing the right skills to benefit from the changes, to benefit from the results of research and development, so that in the future they too can be gainfully employed.
that means you utilize of own sources.
It's important for every individual anywhere in the world to take charge of their own education, to take charge of their own development, to ensure that they have the right tools to fulfill whatever ambition they have. Governments can only go so far. Private sector can only go so far. Schools and colleges can only go so far. The responsibility really is always up to the individual, provided the right infrastructure is there for them to realise those ambitions.
And what is the special role of private sector?
The private sector, there are many private universities in Bangladesh, and the private sector also has a role in vocational training, which is very important. Not everybody needs to go to university to get a degree to prosper. There are huge roles in vocational areas that people can adopt, and certainly in the UK we've now introduced a new apprenticeship scheme for companies to train people without university education in the tools they need to do a trade. And also in Bangladesh we're working with USEP, which is a brilliant organisation, and that gives young people that gives young people in Bangladesh a trade. Either in the motor mechanics or in nursing or in garment sector, and this enables them to get gainful employment.
Is that technical education? And what kind of support we can get from UK government?
Well, we are
education?
supporting USEP, and there are USEP colleges all around the country
who are
giving vocational training to many, many young people.
Excellency, every year a large number of students are going to UK for higher studies. Besides Commonwealth scholarship, how British government may assist our students?
Well, we have the very prestigious Chevening Scholarship, which is a scholarship administered by the Foreign Office, and last year we sent 16 scholars from Bangladesh to the UK to study. 16. It's a very prestigious scholarship that looks to try and identify the future leaders, the future movers and shakers in Bangladesh. We're very pleased that the uptake is so good, and the applications are amazing. We get hundreds and hundreds of applications every year.
Because people are thinking British education is the one of the best education. So
it is.
All young people, they want to go to UK or get that or achieve that scholarship.
Absolutely.
Especially Commonwealth scholarship.
Yes.
Any other scholarship exist?
A lot of universities maintain their own scholarship programs,
Well,
and it's a case of looking at what's available in chosen subjects and chosen universities to see where there are bursaries or scholarships available. But British education is not just about getting a degree or a postgraduate degree. It's about the whole experience of life in the UK. It's life-changing, it's life-forming. It gives you many, many skills beyond the academic qualification.
What are your unfinished tasks, do you think?
I don't think any diplomat could ever leave a country and say all my tasks are finished, and there's so much more I would like to have
What
done.
do you think? What are
Well, I'm sure there are still areas of Bangladesh I've not visited. I still want to see the development, the Millennium Development Goals completed. I want to help Bangladesh move into middle income status. And I want to meet more and more of these wonderful people who have made my life here so pleasurable.
Well, Excellency, how many districts have you visited?
I've visited all divisions, but I don't think I've visited all districts.
All divisions?
Yes, I think so. I haven't kept a...
You've been to Sundarban?
I've been to Sundarbans, I've been to the hill tracts, I've been to Cox's Bazar, I've been up to Sylhet, I've been to Rangpur, to Rangmati, to Dinajpur, to Rajshahi. So I've been to lots and lots of places indeed.
Great. What is your opinion on Sundarban?
It's a very, very precious place, a very precious resort. Given the sort of changes, the climate changes we're going through, and of course the huge rise in population globally, especially in Bangladesh, these areas of natural beauty are under threat everywhere in the world. It's important that every government has a strategy, has a plan to protect those environments.
We are almost end of the program. Any final thoughts you want to share with our viewers?
I want to share how much Bangladesh means to me with an example of what happened earlier this year. And I was given a speech on Commonwealth Day to the Commonwealth Society. Meanwhile, at the other side of the world, England and Bangladesh were playing cricket.
Oh, great.
And I could hear everybody in the audience checking their mobile phones to see what the score was.
Great.
And the match was over. As I finished my speech, the final ball was bowled, and Bangladesh had won. And there was a great cheer in the room, not for my speech, but for the Bangladesh cricket team. And I cheered too. I was just as happy that Bangladesh had won as if England had won.
We are very happy to know. Well, Excellency, thank you very much for being with us, and wish you all success, your good health, and prosperity.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much. দর্শক, বাংলাদেশ এবং যুক্তরাজ্যের মধ্যে রয়েছে ঐতিহাসিক এবং ঐতিহ্যবাহী সম্পর্ক। স্বাধীনতার পর বাংলাদেশকে স্বীকৃতি দানকারী দেশগুলোর মধ্যে যুক্তরাজ্য অন্যতম। গেল কয়েক দশকে দু দেশের মধ্যে দ্বিপাক্ষিক সহযোগিতা বৃদ্ধি পেয়েছে উল্লেখযোগ্য হারে। এছাড়া উচ্চশিক্ষায় যুক্তরাজ্য সরকারের কমনওয়েলথ স্কলারশিপ সহ অন্যান্য সাহায্য আমাদেরকে অনুপ্রাণিত করে। বাংলাদেশে নিযুক্ত ব্রিটিশ হাই কমিশনারের লম্বা সময়ের অভিজ্ঞতা ভবিষ্যতে দুদেশের সম্পর্ক উন্নয়নে অগ্রণী ভূমিকা রাখবে বলেই আমাদের বিশ্বাস। এই প্রত্যাশায় শেষ করছি আজকে ডিপ্লোম্যাটিক জোন। এতক্ষণ আমাদের সাথে থাকার জন্য ধন্যবাদ সবাইকে।